Feeling worthless first? Let's give this a name, because we're going to talk about how you can feel more valuable in just 3 steps and truly become valuable. Think about this. Imagine you're floating in the air in a room. You've lifted off the ground, you're hovering. 3 minutes, 5 minutes, but no one saw it. Does it matter? You're really flying, but you can't show this ability in front of anyone. You can only do it when you're alone. So, does it have any meaning? Do you know about the carat system in gold? 24 karat, 18 karat? Gold in its pure form is soft, just like you. If you don't add silver to it, in that 24 karat state, it becomes very fragile. It can't take shape. That's why a certain amount of silver is added to it. So how many carats are you? How much of you depends on value that comes from other people? Let's make you valuable in just 3 steps. Feeling worthless. Think of a block of cheese. If I put that block of cheese in front of you and said, "How much do you think this costs?" What would you say? First you'd say, "How many grams is this?" You'd look at it. Is it a kilo? Half a kilo? What brand? Who produced this? Who's the creator of this work? Then you'd ask, "How much per kilo?" And if you don't know market prices, you couldn't even estimate. In other words, you measure it against something, right? So, how valuable are you? How much are you worth? What's your value? To be able to measure all of this, you need to look at what you're comparing it to. So is someone comparing you? For example, families generally say, "You're worthless. Your opinion is worthless. What kind of person are you?" Or sometimes you compare, "Mom and Dad love my brother more. They love my sister more." In friend groups, you say, "The teacher loves that one more." Or about your partner, your friend, "They don't love me." Do you know who's doing this comparison? It's you. So, should this comparison be made? Should you get on that scale? Should you get on that podium? Is there any need to climb onto the 2nd or 3rd place podium? What's forcing your psychology to constantly get on this scale? They love me more, they love that one less. Of course, social media also forces you to do this. That's why there are idiots who sell their brains to feel valuable. Excuse me, I'm insulting this because there are people begging, like me, please like me to feel just a bit more valuable. There's something very ugly I see on Instagram. So bad we can't even bring it on screen. There's an ignorant crowd unnecessarily displaying themselves with their bodies, their possessions, so they can get more subscribers, more likes. I'm sorry, but it's true. Instead of selling their ideas more, instead of selling what they produce, they're selling ordinariness. They're giving what the other is giving, and after a while they say, "Why am I worthless?" Because, whether male or female, after a certain time they try to beautify themselves artificially with Botox, with whatever. If you're going to see real value, you should see lasting value. I liken seeing that fake value to imitation gold. Gold-plated. You should be real gold. It's also possible to rent value. How? In friend groups, you feed people whose conversations you find somewhat good too much. They feel good around you. You chat 2, 3, 5 times, but you always pay the bill. We call this renting value. When your money runs out, they leave. So if you're renting people who will make you feel valuable with your money, this might feel good for a period, but in the end, you'll feel worse because you'll say, "Am I important, or were they just loving me for my money?" The artwork Interchange by Willem de Kooning that you see on screen sold for $300 million in 2015. Right now, you're seeing Mark Rothko's work that sold for $90 million in 2012. So what makes you less valuable than these paintings? Why aren't you worth even $1 million? Because these are an artist's work, someone's idea, someone's production. Valuable. You might say, I or you could make the same painting. Let me make 2 brushstrokes. Now let's get to this point. For you to see value, you need to produce something. It's that simple. For you to see value, you need to produce something so you can see that love and respect. Let me give an example. There's a very simple production of work. You make a child, and when your child becomes a lawyer, judge, doctor, as they see respect, you also take pride. My child flew. Soared. On the other side, 2 children have been ruined, but they're casualties of duty, not important. This one's good. This one turned out well. We did this well. The problem starts here. Because you feel worthless, you try to make this valuable by putting all your effort into it. And in the end, you make this worthless too. They do it to their own child. It goes on as a chain. To raise your own value, you'll first raise your own value, not your child's. You see the same thing in love. They dress their lover beautifully, they glorify their lover, they spoil their lover. When one day they up and leave, this one is left like a fool. So could people be telling you the truth? Could you really have faults? Could you really be worthless? Note the things that people make you feel worthless about. For 1 week, I'm not joking, I'm serious. If someone says to you, you're lazy, write it down. You dress very badly, write it. This makes you feel worthless too. You have no time management, you talk nonsense. Write. After writing these down, say, ah, yes. Everyone's saying the same thing. For a week, I've been hearing the same things in friend groups and family. But if 3 separate groups aren't saying this to you, in social settings, in family, don't try to change yourself with what only one side says. Try to improve yourself. You're useless, this idea is useless, your idea is very empty. Don't care about people who say this, because people are always against change and development. They want you to be like them. So if someone is devaluing your idea, don't care too much, try it. You'll pay the bill, your time is going to waste. When you get dressed, you know it's good or bad in 2 ways. First, you look in the mirror. You decide. Second, you call someone whose opinion you trust. They decide. Which one do you do? I'm asking seriously. Some people get dressed, then don't even look in the mirror, constantly ask someone's opinion. Which one are you? Why is it important? Because the same situation exists in your personality. You also have a success in your personality, but unless someone appreciates it, it's not important to you. You feel worthless. You're tremendously successful. You've written great things, but David needs to appreciate it. Olivia needs to appreciate it. Otherwise you say, what am I? You're stupid. I'm sorry, but if you're definitely waiting for someone else's appreciation, and you're not happy for saying I succeeded, you're stupid. One of the main reasons for feeling worthless is social media. Even I sometimes look and say, such and such wrote something in such place. Could it be true? If it's constructive criticism, I add it to myself. But there are people who write just to tear down, step on it, and pass. They're all cockroaches. Not even important. Block, delete, throw out of your life people who constantly write bad things to you. Spit and let go. Hold yourself high. First you believe you'll succeed. First you stand by what you do. Even if they don't value it, you say, yes, I'm going to paint. Please first you believe, so you add value. Don't be unnecessarily humble. Don't say, what will they say? Will they like it? Will they be offended? Don't care at all. First step, 100-day accounting. We've come to the 3 steps. First, the most important, 100-day accounting. Find a 100-page notebook. Do something. We're going to do a 100-page job. We'll track your 100 days. You'll set yourself 3 goals for 100 days. This can be a wall calendar. It can be a blank paper. I don't care. Please determine what you'll accomplish in 100 days. I'll learn to play an instrument. I'll learn a foreign language. I'll make my own native language into a more beautiful and fluent diction. Choose 3 goals. I'll win over a person. I'll enter a valuable circle. I'll meet new people. You'll do something. Can you achieve your 3 goals within 100 days? How have you progressed step by step? Write the last step of your 3 goals the last day. If after 100 days you couldn't do it, if it's not even a third, then that's what you are. This is your value. Second step, everything can remain half done at any moment. The second step is this. Know that one day you could get into an ambulance at any moment. At any moment, what you're doing could remain half done. At any moment, what you're doing could go to waste. So don't say one day when I retire it'll be great. One day they'll understand my worth. No one's going to come and understand your value or anything. You'll enter the circle where you'll see value yourself. You'll acquire a talent. Yesterday I watched something very interesting on TV. I just saw it. Something called foot golf. Foot golf. It had never occurred to me. Maybe it's very common in the world. I just saw it. Please, the only thing you need to do, if these foot golfers, by the way, they're all bald and pot-bellied types, or at least pot-bellied, in that circle you're seeing value. Normally, maybe you can't play ball on the indoor field. You can't manage golf either, or it's too expensive. But you're good at foot golf, bro. Sis, you can do this. Third step, succeed at being someone's most valuable third step. This is very important. In 100 days, succeed at being someone's most valuable. Succeed at being someone's most valuable in 3 steps. Be sure you'll value yourself. It doesn't matter at all whether a group of idiots there values you or not. Be someone's most valuable or a living being's. It can even be your cat, your dog. That love will make you feel more valuable. In an environment where you've been living alone like this for a while, believe me, even a dog coming and valuing you is better than a dog not valuing you. One day. See you in the next video.